Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome back to my channel. It's Pride! And I made a Pride doll a few years back. And the one I made the last couple of years, I gave away. So I have my one Pride doll still with me. Now, I guess it's time to make another Pride doll. As it is Pride season, remember that everybody has their own journey and everybody has their own stories, so please be respectful. Remember, what I do in my bedroom does not affect you and your life in any way, shape, or form. So remember, Pride is love and we love everybody. So here's the video and I'll see you at the end. So the first thing we gotta do is find a willing victim. Most of these are from thrift stores that cost me little to nothing. I think the most expensive one I got was $15, and that was in a 4-pack. So after going through all of these dolls, I'm debating about using this one, but at the same time, I could use this one, I could use the bell, I could use this Disney one. I just don't know. I could go with the vintage head, but nah. I could use a model Muse, and I could use this little Stacy. But she's not feeling the vibe. So choices. Which one? I'm going with her. So let's go with this one. First thing we gotta do is pop her head off and get her washed. So you've seen me do that before. And here is all the different levels of hair that I have. And apparently some outfit. So trying to figure out which one I want to do. Let's pink, blue, and white. I could do the trans flag. So let's go with this. Go ahead and prep the surface, get everything cleaned up. Part the hair where I'm going to go ahead and put the hair. I think I'm just going to go ahead and use her natural part and fill in a little bit more with using the colors that I have. Again, I'm using my grooming brush to move the hair and detangle it. And basically I'm going to go ahead and reroot her head in the space provided. Take a little bit of the hair, loop it around your finger, and hook it onto the needle. Do this over and over and over and over and over again, and you'll eventually have a doll, as you see here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and speed this up because it's just repetition over and over and over again. But once you got what pattern you want to use for the hair, you want to make sure that you set the hair with something. I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac. I have it in a different little bottle. As you can see here, it's just Fabri-Tac gel. And I'm going to squeeze it into the head and squish it around inside the head so that it basically covers all the new hairs that I just put in. I'm going to go ahead and let this dry out in the sun because, again, I am very impatient and I want to finish this project so that I can get it out for Pride. Now after several hours of her sitting in the sun, we can go ahead and oil wash her hair so that the hair lays flat. Be very careful, this is boiling water. Boiling is hot. So again, be very, very careful. I'm just trying to get the hairs to lay down so that I can go ahead and comb it out and then style her hair. And after waiting for her head to be cool enough, I have her head on a stand with a metal plate underneath it because it's magnetic. I cut the hair that I put in to length and then use some sections of straws to basically curl her hair up. Yes, I am using some pins to push through the paper towel that I'm going to be using into the head, but it's perfectly fine. It's just going to hold in there until I can boil wash it again so that it can set the curl. I section off a little bit of the hair first, give it a good brushing through so that there's no knots. I take a piece of paper towel and fold it around it, kind of the same way we used to set perm rods, and I am using a small section of straw to curl the hair up. I'm trying to keep this as tight as possible so that at least it holds the shape while the boiling water does what it needs to do. But I'll go ahead and fast forward through all this so that you can basically see that it is the entire head that is being curled. And now that we got her head completely curled and pinned, it's ready to boil wash. Again, this is very hot. We are boiling water to curl the plastic hair that is Barbie's hair. I am going to alternate between hot and cold water. As you can see, there is boiling water in this cup, and then I will go ahead and dunk her head in, leave it in for a little bit so that it can basically melt the plastic that is her hair. And I will go ahead and set these curls by putting it into some ice water to cool it down as fast as I can, as you can see here. This will set the curl into its shape, and then all you have to do is let it dry. I put mine back out in the sun because, again, I am very impatient and I want to get this project out before Pride. Okay, while the head is drying, there's the pants. And I've got a little bit of this fabric left, and I think it looks very appropriate because it's got all the colors. Here are the pieces. I just need to sew it together. I'm going to sew up the back. I also have some chain that is broken from necklaces from years and years and years. I'm going to use the silver one. In hindsight, after seeing this, it does look very 2000s. But again, I grew up in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, so it's kind of nostalgia for me, but I wanted her to have a little bit extra than just a standard pair of jeans and a t-shirt. Hence why I sewed on this little chain. Things you do. Now I'm just gonna get the head. For her makeup, I am just going to use some acrylic paints because I'm not very good at using pastels and Mr. Super Clear when it comes to dolls. So I'm just going to water down some of my acrylics, paint her face. But here's where I realized that the synthetic hair that I inserted and her original hair are not the same. The synthetic hair basically curled extremely well while her hair did not. But I still made it work in the end. I'm using blue, white, and pink to give her a little bit of a makeup look to, make her look more Pride. And I had to go back and repaint her eyelashes because, again, to do an underlayer, you have to paint over the top of what's already there. Using a dotting tool, I'm trying to make little stars on the side of her face because it just adds a little bit more fun to Pride. You know, we are all unique, and just like every single star, we are our own. So remember, just have fun and be yourself. Now that her makeup is done, it's time to style her hair. I, again, found that the synthetic hair styles very well. Unfortunately, her hair does not. So I tried to do some kind of pullback look, use some little clips that I had. I think it turned out okay. What do you think? Put it in the comments. Now all we have to do is put her head back on and show the reveal. I do hope you like this type of content, and remember to like, share, subscribe, and come back for another video. I wasn't too sure if I should do a Pride video this year with the current environment, but I didn't do one the last 2 years, and it seems that my doll content is starting to blow up on the tube. So this year I went with trans because I do have several friends who are trans, and I wanted to represent them in my collection and support in any way that I can and that I know how to, because I'm really not much of an activist. So if this is the type of content you are interested in seeing, doing Pride dolls, working regular dolls, or just crafting in general, come back and we'll see you at the next video. Tschüssi!